Hello again. I am Carlene from Get Nutrition Clients, and I'm really excited about today's topic because the way it came together was kind of serendipitous, and there was a lot of confirmation around this being the topic I need to talk about today. If you don't already know who I am an internet marketing strategist, and I also have a background in community health program coordination. That's what I've been doing, those two things, for like the past 5 or 6 years, and have had a lot of great success. And through all that, I was originally pre med in university at Johns Hopkins, and I realized that really where I'm happiest is when I'm being strategic and when I can strategically help more people get healthy. And one of the ways that I like to do that is by helping nutrition experts like you be able to serve more people, help amplify your voice online so that you can get nutrition clients. So, enough about me. If you have any more questions, you know where to find me. You guys are always welcome to send me a private message, and I'll do my best to get back to you promptly. It's helpful for me actually to be able to serve you better when I can talk with you one on one. And on that note, while we're getting warmed up on today's topic about figuring out what to do first, a system for prioritizing, I would really love to know, even if you're watching this on the replay, I would love to know what type of nutrition work you do and where in the world you are. I also have a serious case of wanderlust, and I may be in your part of the world at some point. So let me know where you are and what you do. Are you working in outpatient? Are you trying to start up your nutrition practice on the side? Are you already running a strong nutrition practice but really need help leveraging your internet marketing, your online presence to make that get off the ground? So while you do that, I am going to quickly share this Facebook Live in the Nutrition Entrepreneurs Mastermind so that we can make sure that those lovely people who signed up there, if you haven't already signed up, it's completely free. It's just a community of nutrition entrepreneurs, and we get in there and chat about solutions for your business. Most of what we talk about on Get Nutrition Clients is going to be around getting clients, so it's going to be centered around one-on-one or small group coaching. But if you're interested in other types of nutrition businesses, then that's also a great place for you. Let's get that shared. So send me a message, or I'll drop the link to join Get Nutrition. The Nutrition Entrepreneurs Mastermind in the comments. All right, now that we are all warmed up, let's get into it. Let me get back to my notes. Okay, so the reason I said that this was a little bit serendipitous is because I was making notes for this Facebook Live. I've been doing Facebook Live every day since starting on Friday, and I'll be back again tomorrow at noon, but Eastern Standard Time. But I was making notes for today and really thinking about some of the things that people struggle with, but wanting to get it in a tight message. And I took a break to browse through some of the Facebook groups I'm in and just really distract myself on Facebook, which it's really good at doing for me. And I saw this question in one of the groups that I'm in, and the person said, "Hello everyone, I'm trying to create content for my health coaching programs, but I'm getting overwhelmed because I have too much information I want to share. At the same time, I don't want to overwhelm my clients. Any ideas on how to go about it will be appreciated. Thanks in advance." And I just thought it was really interesting because that's exactly the topic that I was drafting my notes on, and so I was able to kind of share a Cliff Notes version with Francisca, and I'll get a little bit more in depth with you here. So what I really want to share with you is my simple, streamlined process for getting specific and prioritizing the problems that you want to solve for your clients. I know you have many, many answers. You are very well trained on a variety of nutrition problems and health solutions, but how do you start? Where do you go? And I'm of the thought family that says if you try to talk to everyone, no one will hear you. So you really got to get specific, but at the same time, you don't want to limit yourself and the people that you can serve. So how do you do that? How do you package a tight message, but in an effective way? How do you prioritize what you're going to talk about? So I'm going to jump right into the process. Feel free to take notes. This is something that you can revisit, or you can even revisit this video and pause. What I'm going to do is give you something to brainstorm about, which normally, I'm not going to do in this video, but you would pause and take a real pen and real paper and scribble for as long as your timer is set. I recommend 2 to 3 minutes. And then you're going to score the solutions that you've come up with. So let's get into the specifics. A lot of the time, as I said before, you have a lot of ideas, you have a lot of solutions, you see where people are struggling, and you want to help them with everything. But the way that people process their problems is not really in the way that we're taught how to address them as health coaches and nutrition entrepreneurs and registered dietitians. People think about their problems in terms of how it affects their lives and how it affects them emotionally, and it's usually measured in terms of money, value, or time. So, before we even get into that, what I want to encourage you to do, this is really helpful if you know who you serve already, I want you to think about the people you want to be of service to. If you're already clear on your customer avatar, excellent. If you're not, don't worry. That's actually the topic of tomorrow's Facebook Live. So think about the people that you want to be of service to. Visualize them. Maybe there's a particular person that you had an especially effective experience with, and that you had genuine connections with, and you were able to really help, and they felt the difference. Think about that person. Try to center yourself in a place of empathy. I think empathy is really important. Really, it's just positioning the way that you think about. A lot of the time we get in marketing mode and say, oh, how can I get this client? When really, if I know you, like I think I know you, then you are in this because you care. You're coming from a place of service. So recenter yourself in that place and think about how this person will feel, how they are currently feeling with their state of subpar health, and how they will feel when you're able to help them. So when you're thinking about these people, think about them as real individuals, not concepts, not people on paper, and it helps if you've had an encounter with someone that is an example of this. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is set your timer for 2 to 3 minutes, and you're going to brainstorm the problems that you believe are the most pressing for your client. When you brainstorm, don't judge while you brain dump. Just keep the pen moving, write your bullet points, and think about the problems that they're experiencing, but think about them from an emotional place. How are they feeling? They may be feeling sluggish. They may be feeling a lack of confidence. They may be feeling unclear. These are problems, and how do those problems show up in their life? If you're not feeling confident because you are overweight, then you may have difficulty dating. That might be the way that you choose to approach the problem. That might be a specific manifestation of the problem that shows up in an emotional way that's impacting their values, their sense of value of themselves, and the ability that they using their time the way that they want to. So that's an example of a problem that you might choose to solve. Another one might be that they're just exhausted after work. They work really long hours. They don't really want to get into the nitty-gritty of nutrition science, but they want to improve their energy because they're an executive at a tech company, and it needs to be fast and nutritious and preferably delicious. Maybe you have solutions for them in things that they can quickly prepare, or meal prep strategies that they can implement to take these meals to work. Or maybe you like to focus on single mothers who are working and have families to take care of, or whatever this problem is. Get connected to what that problem is. Take the time to brainstorm what you think those problems may be. You may have a list of several of these problems. There may be several types of people that you've worked with and several different types of solutions you've offered to them. But we're going to focus on the problems, and even if it's of different people, just the whole point is to brainstorm through and think about the types of problems that you feel you're suited to serve. So what you would do is set the timer for 2 to 3 minutes around that. Then, after you've come up with your list, the timer goes off, drop the pen. Feel free to add time if that's relevant to you, but try to go for at least 2 to 3 minutes. And then when you're going to score now, come from a place of empathy. We're going to come back to that, envisioning who we're here to serve. And we are going to imagine what's creating the most pain for your client and then score based on that. You're going to rank in that way. So you want to score the problems that you think are the most pressing for your ideal client. And if you've taken the time to identify who your ideal client is, that this will be a little bit easier for you. But if you need to clarify the identity of your customer avatar, join tomorrow at noon and we'll get into that. But you're going to think about what they're feeling, what pains they're experiencing, and which of the things you brainstormed are the most painful emotionally, things that they will feel. This is where coming from a place of empathy will be helpful, because you'll be able to identify and say, man, if I was in their shoes, this would be really hard. So you're going to score on a scale of 0 to 5, 5 being the most painful, 0 being, would be nice, but not that big of a deal. So that might be like, I'm trying to think of an example. If you say a problem is that they aren't moving enough, that's not really coming from an emotional place. That's not coming from a painful place. You got to get into why. So take the time to figure out what would be the most painful problems that your ideal client is experiencing. The next thing I want you to do is, once you've scored them, rank and take the top 3 and brainstorm the solutions you would offer for each one. So say your top one was surrounding confidence as it relates to weight, then what would your solutions be for that? Take the 2 to 3 minutes, set the timer, and brainstorm around that. And think about your solutions in the context of how it would alleviate that emotional pain. So that's saying, hey, if you take these actions, you will develop the confidence as it connects to your body image. And that might not even be centered around food or diet. It might be other things that you choose to offer as a solution to that pain. Or it might be, hey, tech exec, I got a real quick meal plan for you. Here's a shopping list. Here's everything's real streamlined and straightforward for you. This is what would relate to you in your business in terms of improving your health. So you're going to brainstorm the solutions that you would offer and really think about what would be most effective in alleviating those pains. But when you're brainstorming, don't edit, don't judge your answers, just keep the pen flowing and work in bullet points. Then you're going to do the same thing after you've brainstormed and the timer has gone off. You're going to score on a scale of 0 to 5. A score of 5 should really feel like a weight lifted off, and it should make you smile and feel hopeful if you're coming from that empathetic place and say, yeah, this would feel really good if I was receiving this solution. The solution doesn't even need to get into the specifics of how you would deliver it. It's just, what is the answer to that pain? How would they feel if that pain was no longer there? So yeah, think of those solutions in the context of how that pain would be alleviated. Finally, you're going to score. So we've talked about the problem and the pain associated with it. We've talked about the solution. And finally, you're going to score which problems you feel you are the most qualified to solve. I want you to really think about what you're most drawn to, what you're most passionate about, and what you think you have some special perspective that gives you a creative approach. A score of 0 would be, they can get this information from anyone. And a score of 5 would be you knowing, like, I got this in the bag, I look at this from a different way, and I can come up with something really unique here that my voice lends a unique value to my ideal client. Once you're done scoring, you're going to tally up the points, and it should be kind of clear where you should spend your energy. At the worst, you'll end up with a top 3, right? Because you've developed, you've already taken the top 3 problems that you want to solve. But hopefully from that top 3, you're able to come down to the one thing that you're going to start focusing on. There's a little bit more to this exercise, especially when it comes to connecting with like the actual products that you create, how you create your whole marketing sequence. and the marketing text and the copy and the images, but that's the general gist. And if you want to brainstorm together, feel free to private message me. I'm always happy to chat, or even get on the phone with you for 20 minutes and do a free consultation around brainstorming, to help you get clear on how to prioritize your time here. So I hope that that process is helpful to you. I hope that it's quick and easy for you to implement. It is worth the time to separate the processes of brainstorming and creating and editing. I found that you can get into a bit of a loop in your head if you're trying to edit before you really let your creativity run wild. I know that you have a lot to offer, not just from your training, but from your unique perspective. For example, in my line of work, there are lots of marketing consultants. There are lots of people that you could choose to work with. And that's fine if you choose not to work with me. But I think that the right person will appeal to, or I will appeal to the right person because of my perspective, my emphasis on strategy, maybe my background, maybe just my general tone. There may be things unique about me, and in the way that I like to break down things into processes, into duplicatable recipes, into systems. That may be something that appeals to you. What I ultimately hope to do when I help people get nutrition clients is to create a system that you can rinse and repeat so that you won't even really need me, that you'll be self-sufficient after our time together. So if that's something that appeals to you, you can reach out to me specifically about my services, but that's not even the point of this video, or even, you shouldn't even be worried about that if you want to brainstorm with me, 20 minutes, no strings attached. I just want to help you get clear on what to offer next, or if you have any other nutrition marketing related questions, feel free to shout out to me or send me a private message and we can chat. All right, that is it from me today. I hope that you are putting yourself out there, projecting that you have value to offer so that your ideal client can know where you are. Don't hide. And one of the ways that you can do that is by hopping on Instagram stories. We're running an Instagram stories challenge right now that is really, really, really simple. The whole point is just to get your feet wet, give you some examples of health-related ideas that you can share with your audience, and then how to throw in marketing in a way that will help you to get nutrition clients by integrating the new feature that Instagram has just released. So I think that Instagram Stories is an important shift. So if you want to check that out, I will also include the link for that in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you in the challenge. Now the thing is, the challenge, I publish the challenge on our story, and the stories delete after 24 hours. So if you want to get in, then you gotta hop in there before the content deletes. I look forward to seeing you in the challenge. We've already seen some people's pages grow. The challenge started yesterday, and their profiles have already gotten more likes than were there before, more followers on Instagram. I think Instagram is boosting the profiles that are using the new feature because they want it to succeed. So I think now is the time to get in there before it gets a little too saturated. And if you're feeling unsure of how to do that, I got some answers for you. So either way, I hope that you are having a successful day. I hope that you're able to implement not only this brainstorming and scoring strategy in terms of how to prioritize what you offer to your clients, but also check out the Instagram Stories challenge and see if it is a fit for your business. I'm biased. I think that it is. But I also understand if you want to see how it best applies to you. All right. All the best. Cheers to your success. I look forward to seeing how you're able to help many other people, and hopefully I can be a part of that success as well. Have a great day. Talk to you later.